Hello everyone and welcome to the November 10th edition of the Weekly Report. Each week we take a look back to help you move forward. This week's report will be covering all the latest numbers and rates from last week. For Randall Riley, I'm Joshua Miller. Without further delay, let's get into it. This week in job board searches and clicks. Truck driver searches were up 8% week over week, but down 9% month over month and 18% year over year. Meanwhile, clicks on truck driver postings saw gains across the board. There were increases of 9% week over week, 1% month over month, and 62% year over year. After last week's dip, the volume in clicks rebounded, and once again, most of the change in numbers was due to the fluctuation in clicks on trainee or inexperienced driver job postings. So, the overall click rate was up due to that increase in activity, but we did see a slight drop of 1% for clicks on postings for experienced drivers. This week in freight, overall load postings in the system fell by 3%, and while dry van postings declined by 8% and flatbed postings were down 5%, refrigerated load postings increased by 13% week over week. The load levels for refrigerated were about 6% below its record level with just 2 weeks to go before Thanksgiving. It's also worth noting that dry van volume typically sees gains this time of year. It is possible that the decline is a reflection of the ongoing supply chain disruptions as we inch closer and closer to the all-important Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales dates. Truck availability remained flat from the previous week, but this is primarily because of a rather large gain in flatbed truck availability that offset the declines recorded in the dry van and refrigerated trucking segments. This all comes as the refrigerated load-to-truck ratio jumped to a record high, while the flatbed load-to-truck ratio fell to its lowest level in almost a year. Spot rates rose by 1 cent per mile week over week, while both dry van and flatbed rates declined. Dry van was down by 4 cents and flatbed was down by 1 cent. But refrigerated rates shot up by a full 12 cents per mile week over week. Now, the story of the week. Truck transportation job numbers are on the rise, this according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. In fact, they are actually nearing the 2019 pre-pandemic levels. Total employment in the truck transportation sector made solid gains for the 5th consecutive month. Seasonally adjusted employment increased by 7,900 in October from September, though when not adjusted for seasonality, the gains were actually closer to 11,000. And jobs in truck transportation are running just 9,100 jobs less than they were 2 years ago in October of 2019. Those numbers are pretty significant, as back in February of this year, there were 51,700 fewer jobs than in February of 2019. So as you can see, things are actually trending in a positive direction. Due to reallocation of drivers to local carriers, the shortfall for long-distance drivers is more pronounced. Over the course of the last year or so, capacity has clearly shifted towards the owner-operator segment. Accounting for growth in the owner-op segment, which is not included in the BLS numbers, industry employment is actually, ready for this, slightly above where it stood on the eve of the pandemic. So there's some pretty good news, right? But one thing to remember are those pesky equipment shortages. The shortage of needed equipment could have the potential to impact hiring plans. The new truck and trailer production backlogs continue to lengthen, and it is becoming increasingly understandable for trucking companies to begin pushing their hiring plans a little further out into the future. And that's it for this week's report. We look forward to you joining us next Wednesday morning for an all-new report when we'll cover all the latest numbers and rates, as well as a new story of the week. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. You can subscribe by clicking that little button right over there. And if you liked the video, you can find even more content like it on our page or by clicking that playlist right there.